everybody, welcome to Osgoode. I'm going to do a quick tour with the manager of Student Financial Resources and also get a feel of what Osgoode is really like, and you guys will have better conversations hopefully. So let's go in. Hi, my name is Hasha. I'm one of the team leaders at the York University Call Centers.
Hi, nice to meet you. I'm Christine Hunter. I'm the manager of admissions and student financial services here at Osgoode. So this is my office, and this is part of the Office of Admissions and Student Services, where we have our whole student support network. Financial services is one of the busiest parts of our office.
I can imagine that being the case. What sort of financial services are provided to students that you choose to go to Osgoode?
So our biggest program is our bursary program. It's a very robust program. Over 90% of students that are eligible for a bursary get a bursary every year, and they appreciate it very much. It's much in need. So bursaries here are distributed. They're either $1,200, $5,000, or $10,000 for low, medium, and high need, respectively.
Okay.
And we do an assessment and an application program in the fall, and just bursaries are distributed in the winter every year. So that's our biggest help for students who are investing in their legal education. And then we also have a scholarship and bursary, or a scholarship program. We do internship funding over the summer for students who are interested in public interest internships, business internships, all kinds of different internships over the summer, and that program provides funding for students to engage in those activities. We also just act as a resource for students, so when they have questions about external financial aid like OSAP or professional student lines of credit, we'll try to help them out. And then the other big portion is when students are in immediate need or they have an emergency, we also provide a loan or an emergency funding for them as well, and that's up to $3,000 at a time.
What were the 4 different streams that they could choose to go into the first year?
Okay, so there are 4 curricular streams. The first one is International, Comparative, and Transnational Law. The second is Labor and Employment Law. The third is Litigation, Dispute Resolution, and the Administration of Justice. And the fourth is Tax Law.
So we're in a classroom right now. I just wanted to get to know how many students there are enrolled at Osgoode and the different faculties, or the different disciplines that they can get into.
Sure. So in each year of law school, there are about 290 students for around 900 in total over the 3 years of law school. Class sizes vary. In your first year, you're split up into one of 4 sections, and so your section would be about 75 students. So you'd have most courses with those same students, but then you'd have a few courses that are actually even smaller, and those are seminars that are about 20 to 25 students. So you get lots of one-on-one time with the professor and lots of great discussions going on in class. Okay. In upper years, it again varies depending on whether it's a seminar course or a more lecture style course, but again it would range from about 20 to 25 to about 75 students.
Okay, awesome. What are the different faculties that are at Osgoode?
So there are many courses. I think there are over 150 courses you can choose from in your second and third year of law school. In first year, the curriculum is more defined with more required courses. There's only one course that you can select other than the foundational core. And then, like I said, in your upper year, you can choose from among around 150 different courses. Included in that, you could choose to do a curricular stream, meaning that you focus your energies on one particular area of law, and we have 4 different curricular streams to choose from. There are 58 full-time faculty, and including all the part-time faculty and adjunct faculty, we'd be at over 180 faculty teaching at the law school.
So in terms of them being able to streamline or focus their studies on a particular subject, is there some sort of staff that is able to help students decide, what type of law they want to get into?
Definitely. So the Student Services Office can help for sure in terms of the Careers Office, the academic programs and records staff, but students can also feel free to talk to the professors themselves. And if a student is choosing to do one of the more intensive curricular streams, they would actually work with the professor to design the program of study that meets those requirements. So they would have to do, for example, an extended paper and meet with their professor to make sure that they're meeting all the requirements for that curricular stream.
A lot of callers, we do discuss mooting competitions all over the phones, but many of us are not exactly sure what that means or what we're saying. So could you just explain exactly what a mooting competition is, or what a moot court is, and I guess what the classroom looks like and whatnot?
Sure. So a mooting competition is kind of like a mock trial, but not an entire trial. So if you think about debating competitions and how you have people arguing both sides, it's kind of like what you do in a moot. So somebody will argue the side for the plaintiff, and the other parties will argue the side for the respondent. You usually have teams of two arguing both sides, and it'll be before a panel of judges. And so the judges will decide whose argument is more persuasive, and that usually determines the winner of that round. And in this room, we do have some internal moot competitions that students do. So in first year, there's some mandatory moot competitions, and also voluntary ones that students can do, and they usually take place in this room. Along the walls, you'll see various banners, and this is over the years of Osgoode students mooting in different competitions. Some of these competitions are in different places around the world. So students will be flown to different areas to compete against other Ontario law schools, which is really exciting, really great for students to get that type of experience. This room is also the biggest room in Osgoode, so a lot of times the first year classes will be in this room because the first year class is about 290 students, so there's enough space to seat everyone upstairs, downstairs, and go through a big lecture in this room.
Okay, so when you say that they do get to travel outside of Osgoode, or whether if it's in another country, how are the travel costs covered? Is that something that Osgoode provides students with?
Yes, so Osgoode will cover the cost. If it's an official moot competition that a student is doing on behalf of Osgoode, then Osgoode will cover it. For example, I did a moot competition last year, which was in Halifax, Nova Scotia, and so Osgoode covered the cost of our team to fly there, as well as accommodations while we're there.
So I'm an undergraduate student at your university, and I use Scott Library quite heavily. What is the library like at Osgoode, and what are some of the resources that are available for students here?
Well, the library is great at Osgoode. It has a lot of sources. We have a reference desk, reference librarian who's here available to help students with research projects and how to find things and how to get started. We have journal items available. We have case law digest, lots of secondary literature explaining various principles and theory, case law theories. We also have in the library study group rooms, computers that are available for student use, and actually our online digital collection is actually one of the best for law school. You can almost find everything online that we're given access to. So a lot of legal digest, journals, cases, etc. If there was older resources that students need to locate, so if you're looking at like older statute materials that haven't been converted online, those are available downstairs in the stacks of the library. So whether they're literature dating back to the 1800s, 1900s, that type of literature can be found downstairs.
So we have lots of resources available. This is our programs and records team in the Office of Student Services, and they provide anything from transcripts to exam deferrals, grade dispute requests. There's also a lot of academic programming in terms of if students have a documented disability, we will help facilitate whatever accommodation is called for. And there's also a first year academic success program that's run through this office as well as the Associate Dean of First Year. And so that is focused on how to succeed in law school. So test taking, or not test taking strategies, study strategies, exam writing strategies, paper writing, how to write a good case summary, etc.
So I know a lot of colleges have questions about what exactly a clinical intensive program is at Osgoode. Would you be able to just kind of define for me and give me a brief summary as to the different programs that are made available?
For sure.
Okay.
So experiential education is one of the big advantages of coming to Osgoode, and it's something that we really pride ourselves on. It's quite innovative in terms of Canadian law schools. So we have 15 different clinical and intensive programs, and that means that students have an opportunity to take a course for credit that involves hands-on legal experience. So instead of being in the classroom, they're out in the real legal world practicing and working with lawyers and being guided by real lawyers on real legal experiences. So this is a listing of all of the different clinical and intensive programs that we offer. So you might spend either one full semester or one full year in these clinical programs, and it would account for your credits for that whole semester or whole year.
Is this something that students apply for, or is this a part of a degree?
Good question. So it is something that students apply for. So they would apply in their first year for doing the program in second year, or apply in second year to do the program in third year.
Okay.
So space is somewhat limited, but it's a great opportunity, and many students apply to try to do at least one over the courses.
How does all of this tie into career development for students?
So that's a really good question. Many students find that they make really great connections with the lawyers that they have a chance to work with over the course of their intensive, or just build experience for their resume. And this may end up being either a partner organization or at least a field in which they end up doing their articling after they graduate, which is a requirement for being called to the bar in Ontario.
Hi, my name is Basayo Ayodele, and I'm a third-year student here at Osgoode. I'm also the student recruitment coordinator this year.
Okay, well, it's nice to meet you. We talked about different clinical and intensive programs that are offered at Osgoode. I just wanted to be able to get a feel of what it's like, and if it's okay for you to share your experiences while you're doing your program.
Sure. I did the anti-discrimination intensive, and that intensive is a full semester, so a full semester away from the law school, where you're basically working all day 9 to 5 in a legal environment. So it's really great for getting practical experiences. It's focused on human rights in Ontario. So there we were working with human rights lawyers who were helping applicants with discrimination issues. So students would get to go to the Human Rights Tribunal. Also, we would do mediations and go to hearings and do legal work with lawyers. We also handled intake, so people all around Ontario who were calling about legal issues would call the center, and students would discuss whether or not they had a legal issue and what are the steps to go forward to launch an application at the Human Rights Tribunal if they did. Along with the intensive, there's also a seminar that you do, so it gives you an opportunity to combine practical with theory. And so each week, every other week, you would meet with your classmates as well as a professor, and you would discuss the practical aspects of working at the center, along with the theoretical backing, case law, as well as secondary literature on different anti-discrimination issues.
Awesome. Did you feel like it was a really good networking opportunity for you, especially after you graduated? Is this something that you want to pursue your career in?
It was actually really great. I ended up getting a summer job from doing this intensive. I was hired back by the center after I completed the program. So after my second year, that's where I worked. I think there's about 20, 25 lawyers there, which is really great for networking. So I had access not only to the lawyers there, but their networks. So when I was going for articling interviews, I spoke with a lot of the lawyers about the places where I was interviewing, and they gave me information about people that they knew that worked in those areas, as well as things that I should be doing in the interviews, as well as even going ahead and contacting people that they knew in the community. So I think it's really great for that aspect of networking.
All right, so a lot of personal and professional development surely takes place, and that's really good. So what are the career opportunities available for students?
So while students are at Osgoode, they can access our career development office, which is another part of the student services office. and there are 4 staff in the office who are available with students to meet, to review their cover letter, review their resume, do mock interviews. There are a number of very streamlined processes for interviewing for summer positions, and we help students with that. In addition, students can access those services after they graduate as well. So one of the biggest advantages of a legal degree is that, or a legal degree from Osgoode, is that you have law-specific career advice from career counselors who have been in the legal world and are lawyers. So all they would have to do is contact a representative from the Career Services Office and provide some verification, and then they're able to access the services. Dean Lawrence Sawson, who is our current dean, who is wonderful and very innovative, had the idea that he would like to pilot a new income contingent loan program. So this will be started in 2015, and what it means is that 5 students per year for the duration of the pilot program will come to law school on the basis of an income contingent loan. So that means that they will not pay tuition while they're here. They will be fully paid for. $10,000 per year will be in the form of a bursary, and then the remainder will be in the form of a loan. And that loan will be paid back upon graduation by the student, but only if their income affords them the ability to do so. So we're really standing behind our program and its ability to ensure that students get careers in the legal field after law school. So this is something that is very exciting, and the dean is really excited about it and really pushing for it to make sure that we get the best candidates in law school and that people are not prohibited by their income from coming to law school. It will actually be for 5 years, so 2015, the entering students in 2015, 2016, 2017, and 2018 will all be a part of the pilot program, and then we'll reassess based on how it goes for those students.
For reference purposes, who is the dean of Osgoode?
So currently our dean is Professor Lawrence Sawson. He is actually an Osgoode alumni as well, and he's just been re-elected for a 2nd term as dean, so everyone's really excited to benefit from his leadership and his commitment to access to justice for another term. So these 2 pieces of art were commissioned in honor of Osgoode's 125th birthday or anniversary, and they're by an Indigenous artist named Yaya Height, and they're one of our newest additions to the law school.